Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. It's another cold and cloudy morning here in the Manyeleti. We've had about 24 hours of rain, um, and it's finally eased up. The clouds are still thick and heavy, but at least the rain's gone for now. It's just myself out this morning. I'm just going to check the northern parts of the reserve for now, and then I might head sort of towards the central area, see what I can find down there. But it started off pretty quiet. I'm just sitting here at Kokomoya Dam. Nothing here yet, but let's see what the morning brings for us. While I was sitting at Kokomoya Dam, I could hear this monkey alarm calling. You can see he's looking quite worried. He's looking to my left here. So I'm hoping that maybe the Shinzele male leopard's around here. So unfortunately, the way those monkeys were looking and moving, it looks like that leopard is actually in one of their camps here. So I just decided to loop around. I want to move to the other side of the camp, see if the leopard pops out the other side, on the exact same track that I came in. This male lion's just sleeping here. Just shows you what a bit of timing and luck does. I mean, I drove in here 10 minutes earlier, no lion here, come back on the same track, and yeah, he's just sitting here. It's one of the open males. Looks like he's just going to settle down here for a bit. It's quite cold. He's going to snuggle up here in the grass. He'll just lie out in the open here. There's no real need to look for any shade today. It does look like he's got a couple of fresh scars on his face. There's one next to his eye. That could either be from conflict again with his brother, or maybe they were on a small kill with the females. A lot of fighting going on around that kill. He could have got a few claws to the face, and I see there's one on his rump. We've seen him and his brother separated quite a lot lately. I don't know if the bond's just weakening. I know they do need to spend a bit of time apart patrolling the territory, covering different parts of the territory, because these females do have cubs. They'll cover more distance when they're apart. But even when we've seen them together, quite a lot of hostility between him and his brother. So I'm not sure if there's a bit of conflict going in at the moment, or this male is just being more dominant, very possessive of these females at the moment with all their cubs. Still such a beautiful male, this guy. His brother's looking a bit worse for wear, which does make him quite vulnerable if he goes off on those solo patrols. If new male lions come in from Kruger, a group of 2 or 3, there's a good chance they could have a real go at that male. But this guy's looking in great condition still. Strong, healthy. You can see that mane still full, still very black. Looks like he's just going to cuddle up and stay warm here in the grass. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to see if I can loop around the camp and maybe get lucky with that young male leopard. Bit of a strange picture to come into. There's some dung lying on the road here. So I'm going to turn it into a quiz or a question for our viewers. And you can guess what you think it is. You can leave your answers in the comments below. I'll give you some clues. This animal is not a predator. It moves mostly at night, and it's actually a rodent. So you can put your answers in the comments below, and let's see who can get it right. nice collection, or we'll call it a community of animals, when you got different species all intermingling and hanging around with together. There's an elephant bull here with massive tusks. Probably the biggest tusks I've seen in a long, long time. Looks to be quite an old male, probably, I'd say in his 50s, very early 50s. In the past, the Kruger National Park had what used to be called the Magnificent Seven. So those were 7 big bull elephants that had massive tusks over a specific weight. Unfortunately, none of those are no longer alive, but there is a group called the Emerging Tuskers, and they have all these elephants on database. So I'm actually going to look this guy up because he's got a really massive set of tusks. The heaviest set of tusks recorded in Kruger belonged to an elephant called Manyeleti. Manyeleti means ear. He had this big torn ear, and he would live around sort of southern parts of the Sabi Sands and around the Skakuza area. And if my memory is correct, his combined weight of his tusks was about 142 kilograms. So that's over 300 pounds that he was just carrying around. He's not in must, this male, so he's incredibly relaxed. Just a big, gentle giant with some handsome teeth. A bird called a fork-tailed drongo in that tree there underneath him. They'll just be waiting as the elephant moves, and you can see him pulling up grass with his trunk. He's going to disturb a lot of insects, grasshoppers, beetles, whatever, so that bird, the drongo, is going to pounce on them. So you often see the drongo following larger mammals around, the elephants or giraffe, herds of impala or zebra. You'll see what he's busy doing here. He's going from bush to bush. A lot of these bushes will grow over and sort of protect a lot of grasses, and other animals haven't got to them yet. So he'll go and he'll stick his trunk into these bushes and underneath them, and he'll pull out all that nice grass that hasn't been fed on yet. seem to be on some kind of territorial patrol, these two females. You can see their tails are raised and constantly smelling different areas, like they've had a intruding hyena or hyena clan into this area. So they mark their territory differently to the cats. They'll use their scat, but they also have these anal glands which they secrete as paste onto grass stalks as they move along here. Managed to find red road male. We are alongside the drainage line where we first found the Nauru female cub, so maybe he'll lead us into one of the den sites here. He seems very alert. Definitely very alert. I'm still not quite sure what he's looking at or what's interesting him so much. Like I said, there are a few vultures flying around, but I think they're just taking off. The sun is slowly coming out, so there's a bit of thermal or hot air currents being created. So the vultures are going to use that. They couldn't fly around at all yesterday because of the wet conditions, so I'm sure they're a bit hungry, the vultures, so they're going to start scavenging as it starts to warm up now. Just in the last couple of months that we've been viewing this male, you can definitely see his manes starting to grow nicely. He's still got about another year before he's fully grown and his mane's fully grown. You can even start to see some black coming through. It's my favorite male. Since I started in the Manyeleti, he was just such a good looking, fit, strong young male. He had a much blonder mane then, when he was still with a Koppie's pride. You can see he's busy watching some vultures now that are flying up. But there's just something about this guy. He's alone. He's taken over a huge part of the Manyeleti as his own. So he's always been very strong, very resilient, even after losing his companion about a year ago. Here's two antelope we see very, very seldom. In most game reserves that you go to, you hardly ever see them. They're called common reedbuck. A male on the left, female on the right. They like these larger open grasslands. amazing camouflage, so sometimes I'll just blend into that long grass and we don't see them. I think this is probably only my 5th sighting of them in about 2 years, so very, very rare to see. And although it's called a common reedbuck, it's very uncommon. Great find. They're so relaxed. Everyone, we've come to the end of this morning's drive. It's about 10:30 at the moment, but still very, very cold. The sun's been teasing us, coming out then disappearing again behind the clouds. But at least the animals came out for us this morning. Seeing those 2 different male lions, beautiful big male elephant with those big tusks to follow those hyenas on their territorial patrol. But the highlight for me was definitely seeing those 2 reedbucks, something we definitely don't see too often out here. Myself and Alistair will probably be out again this afternoon, so we look forward to seeing you then. Hopefully the sun's out, but from me for now, see you next time.